Hey, what's going on? This is Book Me or Not podcast, and today we got the whole Eyes Glued production. They came through, chop it up, man. We're gonna get some gems from them. We're gonna learn about their business and how they built it from ground up. So, without further ado, thank y'all. Got the fam here. But if y'all want to introduce yourself, you can, you know.
What's going on, everybody? Robert Slocum, CEO of Eyes Glued Production. This is my beautiful wife, Jasmine Slocum. Our son, Roman Slocum, starring in our latest film, Slime Race.
I got to be, come through and check y'all out on the Slime Race, man. I ain't gonna tell y'all too much, but it was, hey, you don't want to miss out on it. Like just the action on it, the rawness. Like, I really salute what y'all doing, man. I admire your work ethic and how y'all work as a team. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I really called y'all here, for this podcast, because I love y'all work ethic. I really admire how y'all independently, y'all ain't waiting on nobody. You're doing it yourself, and So, doing the film independently, how is it that you have to, not wait on nobody? Like, you know what I'm saying? Tell us how it goes doing it independently, where you don't have to wait on nobody. You just hitting it and you just going. Like, you ain't waiting on nobody. You just doing it.
Well, it's like with any other thing. I'm a hustler.
Right.
And I don't mean that as a bad thing, because not all hustles are bad. You can't wait on anyone, because if you wait, you'll be lost. So I just utilize, like, I used to sell cars. So I utilized my tactics for that. I knew I had to network, get to know people, just become resourceful and barter, pay, whatever it takes to get it done. Like, I'm pretty well rounded. I think I'm kind of known in the city anyway. So I can go to establishments and, build rapport with owners, and, maybe they'll cut me a nice discount. Yeah, you can use my facility. Or some have blessed me and let me use their places for free. Because they see the vision, and, the key thing is surround yourself with people that believe in you, or, I don't like to be called a dreamer, because I'm doing.
That's a bar.
Yeah, right. I'm doing the work, so I'm not a dreamer. I'm doing what I set out to do. Just be around innovative people. Ambitious people, rather.
And tell us how important it is to have your wife help you on these projects, and having another person and having it on your own self. Like, how is that? Let us know how that is.
Man, it was a heavy weight lifted off my shoulders when my wife came into the fold, because I've been doing this for like 10, 12 years. Okay. And I've had my bumps in the road. I've learned a lot.
Right.
And when you do an independent film, you don't have the way I've been doing it, the guerrilla way, you don't really have a budget to pay PAs and so you have to wear many hats. And so when I brought my wife into the fold, it just made it a lot more easier, and things flowed. I know how competent she is. And she's a go-getter. She's intelligent. She's the female version of me, but I'm more educated. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to look over her shoulders, micromanage. I can trust her. I know if she says she's going to do something or attack a task, she's going to do it. And then
y'all like reflection with y'all.
Yeah.
She more aggressive than I. I thought I was aggressive.
She always like, hey.
People see big 238 over here, but they don't they feel wifey.
Hey,
wifey coming.
AD, man, let's get it done.
Hey.
Like, I was on the scene, I seen her, she like, hey, get it done. She was out there in the witches like, hey, what's up? So,
we filmed in the midst of pandemic, so so she's making sure everybody's COVID compliant and everything. I mean, she just do everything. Places where I lack, she makes me stronger. And things I don't even think of, because I have that get it done mentality, that go getter mentality. So she balances me. So
that balance. like strength and weakness. You know what her weakness, she know your weakness, and by y'all knowing each other like that, it helps balance it, and you can get things done, because you know, like, okay, he gonna forget to do this, let me make sure.
Exactly.
Let me stay on. So yeah, let us know where you from, man, and
born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. The Westside to be exact.
Westside, Zone 4, Zone 1. Yeah. What does the Westside Atlanta mean to you?
Everything. Everything I am, you know, I have to attribute to that. I love Atlanta as a whole. This is my city. I love my city. But the Westside made me. I can't take that from them. Like all the way, even from my elementary school on up. Like. In Peyton Forest was a rare gem. Like I went to school with a lot of prominent families, like Dr. Martin Luther King, his great nieces and nephews, Andrew Young, his lineage, you know, the Bronner brothers, all their kids and grandkids and stuff. So prominent businessmen, like I had a strong sense of self, because actually I was a rarity. You know, I came from a single parent household, but you wouldn't believe, being on that side of town, majority of those kids came from 2-parent households. And so that school gave me a strong sense of self, and I will always, you know, say pay homage to Peyton Forest.
Yeah, my elementary made me, because Adamville Elementary made me, because I just learned a lot of lessons around that time.
Right around the corner.
Yeah,
the same.
Yeah, it made me, because that's my years, you learning years, the elementary. So, you know, just being around the people, you know, in the neighborhood, or just going to school with everybody, just really made me. Like the lessons I learned, you know, made me tougher. Like, you know, you gotta be
right.
tough to grow up on the West Side.
Oh
so
you gotta be able to handle yourself.
You gotta. So yeah, most definitely that. Let's talk about your next project that you're working on.
I'm currently working on. Wife, you want to key in?
Oh, sure. I mean, I didn't want to jump in, you know, where I wasn't. We have a lot of projects actually, but we're trying to put them in order. So we have quite a few. He mentioned in midst of pandemic, we're finishing Slime Race. He has one called Buggy Love.
Okay.
We're still trying to get 96 kind of going. He's also writing a phenomenal, like almost, I wouldn't say biopic, but something similar to a biopic for Tommy Duncan of Jet Doc.
Okay.
And so, I mean, he's the creative on those things. And so I just try to realistically get a schedule of what we can do in a year. Year's time, and it's always, you know, we want to film everything.
Well, let me ask you about Jet Doc, because I see it up and down Instagram. I didn't exactly know what it was. So, Can you explain to us what exactly Jet Doc is?
Yes, it's a telehealth platform.
Okay.
It is Black owned. I think those are important.
My guy Tommy Duncan, man, y'all go follow him. Look that guy up.
He partnered with Dr. Jackie Walters and Rick Ross on it to basically bring health to affordable health to communities. And so where people are generally afraid to go to the doctor because they may not have insurance or don't have, you know, the type of insurance that will, you know, really allow them to use it. This is another opportunity that, you know, everybody has their phone in their hand all the time.
You have your doctor's appointment at your fingertips.
Yeah, it's right there in your phone. You can download the app. You download the app for free. There's no cost to download the app. There's a subscription that you can get for $10 a month.
And that covers your entire household. Okay.
You can get up to 5 people, if I'm not mistaken, in your household on the plan, and then it's $20 per visit if you don't have the subscription. So it's like, you know, a win-win. If you're not sure about it, you can just get one doctor's appointment. If you
test it out.
Yeah, instead of jumping to urgent care and having to spend a larger amount, If you need prescriptions, you can get up to 85% off prescriptions and things like that. I know that's really important for elderly when you just have routine medications that you have to take without having to go into facilities. And then in the wake of COVID as well, I think it's important to kind of stay out of crowded places if it's not necessary to go in there.
Right.
And so they have board certified physicians that can help you kind of.
Over 500.
Yeah.
That's much needed in our community though, so that's a good thing to be involved with, like anything that's helping our community.
Right.
Like, that's big.
Yeah, we started off just, we met him because he was at Jackson Memorial Church.
Yeah.
Him and Rick Ross, they made they gave Christmas gifts to the community. I'm like, and I was up there, we were up there volunteering and helping out because we were touched, like, this is my neighborhood, this is where I grew up. I know how much this means to the kids, and it wasn't like no little Family Dollar toys or nothing like that. Nothing against Family Dollar, but this guy was giving out big screen TVs, bikes, all kind of. He made sure a lot of kids had a nice Christmas, and I was enamored by him. So we got to talking, and he found out I was a writer, and I shared some of my work with him, and the relationship matriculated from me just writing his story to us becoming friends, family, and now I'm a brand ambassador for Jet Doc because I believe in that, what he's doing. Us as men, we don't go to the doctor like we should.
So you're right.
Black men at that. So
I would say the Black community as a whole has like a mistrust of physicians and Western medicine, and rightfully so. I mean, there's
medical insurance it's pretty much been a scam. They take advantage.
And then the maternal death rate for Black women, I'm sure you've heard, is higher. With you have a lot of doulas that can support that. You know what I mean? And so it's important to have, I think, to create the trust that is lacking in our communities and get the health care that we need, that we're not going to seek or going to grab when we need it.
Right.
Shout out to Jet Doc for that, man.
Yeah, big salute.
Big salute too, man. What does 96 mean to you? The year 96 mean to you?
It's the year I moved to Georgia.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, I was young.
I grew here. 96 is the year, in my opinion, that Atlanta got on the map.
Okay.
So it's a culmination of so much. Like, people love Atlanta, but they don't know how it became the powerhouse that it is. So I always wanted to tell that story. And so I just started writing firsthand experiences that I've witnessed myself. I've interviewed a lot of prolific people that were key players in this. And the story centers around Atlanta, but it's from the lens of everyone. So you got the political aspect, you have the law enforcement aspect, the hustlers aspect, street hustler, dealers, everybody. Like telling the story how in the late 80s, early 90s, how we got into it with the Miami boys when they came up here and they tried to take over. I know you're familiar with that, coming from our side.
That was you. My uncle got killed in the Yeah.
That's for real?
Yeah. Because it was a little bit, you talking like 85, 86. Around that way.
Right,
I was
up.
3 years old around that time.
And I had to, adjust the timeline a little bit, but just, I'm starting from 1990 and the show will end in 96. But I am covering a lot of stuff from the 80s and all. Like I said, the Miami Boy War, the forming of the Red Dogs, covering that.
They wouldn't jump out on you.
Right.
We actually know one. We know one. Yeah. And I didn't know that. I mean, I grew up in the church with him as a child. And when I met
You knew
Robert.
one of the most popular ones, but carry on.
Yeah, he, we met. I didn't know any. I was kind of ignorant to it. So we met and he's like, you know, such and such. And I was like, who? You're talking about Mr. Yeah. Man, he was like, you don't even know him. And I was like, I do. I've known him my whole life.
You know him as brother such and such. I know him as the Terminator. Yeah. That's what we called him in the street.
He's so down to earth
and chill. I know him from where I'm from.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what he look like, but I know that name.
The Terminator, yeah. Everybody know who the Terminator is, man, from the Red Dogs. But I mean, like,
classic level.
Yeah, we're talking about the forming of the Red Dogs. We're discussing. I'm not gonna say any names, but you know, little city councilman, mayoral beefs with some gangsters, prolific gangsters and business owners, entrepreneurs. You get my drift. Yeah. So we're gonna touch into that, tap into that too. Then another part of the political aspect, you know, it's some great stories. Like I didn't know like certain DAs were from here. And you know, they're on worldwide news now, CNN and everything, but they have like great stories, like heroic stories. So we definitely want to tap into that as well. So it's a beautiful story, man, and it's centered around an OG I know. You know, he's like my godfather. His name Ali Bakar. He was
I know Ali. Well, I know of him about him.
Yeah, you know, he had that discrepancy with Alpha Mega. You know, Alpha Mega, whatever people want to call it, they say some say he snitched, some say he lied. Yeah. I don't get into all that aspect of it, but you know, Ali was a major player, man. He went, you know, he was a college basketball standout. Okay. Then injuries prevented him from going into the NBA doing all he wanted to do. But I tell you a great story that's included in the show. I'll give y'all a little glimpse of where I'm going with this. I'll tell you two. But first about Ali. In the early 90s, there was an expansion team, the Charlotte Hornets, in the NBA. He was in the tryouts. He made the final cut as a point guard. And he was going to be their starting point guard. They were like, man, you got all the tools we need. You're a bad boy. But they looked over, they said, but that little guy that's 5'3", he's going to sell tickets. We know we're not winning no championship no time soon. So we got to roll with him because he's going to sell tickets. That little 5'3" guy, of course, is Muggsy Bogues. So I'm like, it's rich with stories. Like, I'll tell you another story. We're gonna say Iron Mike. It was at Magic City one day.
Oh yeah.
And you know, my dude was hungry. And he got the dancers and stuff. He's like, you know, where we all have to eat this time of night? Where can we go eat? So the dancer was like, well, this was when the Beautiful would be open late, like 3 or 4 in the morning. The Beautiful restaurant. So like, we can go to the Beautiful restaurant. He's like, okay, well, tell all the girls they can come to the Beautiful restaurant. Hey, that's my all-time favorite boxer, so I'm not clowning. That's my dog. I love Mike.
Yeah, it knock you out quick.
Yes. Most electrifying guy I ever seen put on gloves. But so he took the girls to the Beautiful. I think he emptied out the club.
Oh shit.
And so Magic Mike Bruni, the owner of Magic City, went to the club and saw all his girls gone. He like, what the hell? So he found out where they was. This man lined up a whole bunch of limousines, pulled up at the Beautiful. He said, hey, if you want a job tomorrow, you better get your A up, get in these limos. He like, don't you ever leave my establishment again. I don't care who come in here. I don't care if it's Jesus. So I'm like, it's just stories like that. It's so rich. Yeah. We also covering the Freaknik.
Got to. Yeah.
And like, it's so much. It's more than meets the eye when it's concerning the Freaknik. Yeah. Like, a lot of hustlers played a major part in Freaknik because they used it as a front to, you know, transport and move stuff. So I'm gonna tell you, there's no story like this. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm a avid TV watcher. I love Snowfall, Power, all these great shows. Even Power Book 2, I love them all. Right. But 96 is gonna be in a league of its own.
Man, visualizing now. Like, I'm ready to watch it now. Like,
and shout out to my boy, my big homie, Big Boi.
Okay, so how do you come about getting in contact with Big Boi and working, possibly getting Big Boi to work with you and all that? Like, how did that happen?
Ali Bakar. Like, I wrote it out. He was like, it's ready. He was in love with the story. He was like, okay, what do we do now? Who do you want to take it to? I had a list of people, but at the top of that list was Big Boi from OutKast. Just something about Big. I was like, him and Dre wrote the soundtrack for that era. So I just felt like it'd be that much more powerful. And he's a hell of an actor in my opinion. So I was like, well, here's my list, but he was like, you want Big? We'll get Big. A couple of weeks later, we in a meeting with Big. Big love the story. And you know, he's originally from Savannah. I went to Savannah State. And so, and then I included a little Savannah history in it. Cause you know, that was the first stop before the Miami boys came up here. So I was like, we can pay homage to your home too. You know you're an Atlanta dude, but you're a Savannah dude too. So, and he was just like, let's do it. And so,
yeah, no, that's big. You know what I'm saying? What give you the motivation to want to put all these Atlanta stories into your film? Like, what's your motivation for it?
I just love my city. I love where I'm from. But I refuse to be put in a box though, because my mind ranges so much further. So my wife can tell you, like, man, I write some sci-fi, supernatural, superhero,
got an eclectic mix of material, and you know, I think it's cool that he can kind of jump between, you know, what he loves and what he knows, you know, from lived experience, and then say, hey, this is where my mind, what if we had this? What if we thought of this? And he'll take it into a story, or I dreamed about this, and I thought, oh, this would be a dope, you know, whatever. I mean, every year he surprises me with something else. So I'm like, oh man, that's dope, you know, or that's cooler. And then I'll ask follow-up questions, and he'll be like, you know, so I think that we kind of bounce ideas off of each other on certain things. Like, I say, so where are you going with that? You know, or, you know, what are you doing with that? And he's like, I don't know yet. Or he'll come and say, what do you think about this or this name? And I'll say, okay, yeah, that sounds up, or nah, that ain't it. You know?
It's beautiful having a partner that you can do that with and share that with.
Be honest with you, you know, ain't no ulterior motives. You know that they gonna keep it real. Like, if they clear it, then like, okay, it's good. If she say, nah, ain't it, then
then she's talented as well. So
yeah, I think that I want him to represent his best self. You know what I mean? I know that we're human and that won't always be the case, but in most cases, you know, when you can, you know, he's so creative. It's like, you know, you want to display a mind like that, a creative mind like that. So I think it's dope. And I have my own different level of creativity. Like, I'm a craftsy person, or like, I see your presses over there and I know what to do with those. You know what I mean? Like, I know, you know, I have a different level, but his like creative, like his writing is just like on another level. And I'm not just saying that because he's my husband, because I tell everybody, like, if it wasn't hitting on anything, I wouldn't endorse him as much as I do. I would love him, you know what I mean? And I would support him in what he wants to do, but I wouldn't be on the team like I am, because I want to see him, you know, I want to see him and Ice Blued win, you know. And I think that's, you know, I know you asked him earlier how it is having me on the team, and when I saw just kind of like the inconsistencies of people that he was dealing with before, you know, that's no disrespect to them. Everybody has their life and trajectory, so I'm not, you know, shunning anybody or shaming anybody for, you know, what they decide to do. That's not where their heart is, and that's why I had to explain to him, like, that's not their passion, this not their stuff, you know what I mean? And so obviously I'm married. So I want, you know, I felt like bringing a certain, you know, level of protection, you know what I mean? Not because I just like feel like he's obviously a big dude, like he can handle himself in a lot of ways, but certain things, like if you don't have to, or if that's something I do every day, you know, I don't mind, because, you know, like I said, if there's some things I can take off of his plate, that's why you will see me AD. I'm in Slime Race too.
Starring in Slime Race.
I'm in Slime Race too. I'm in a couple of different things. You know, wherever I'm needed, I try to insert myself and be the best.
Very talented.
The best role I can be. You know what I mean? In that moment. So if it's a COVID compliance officer on one set, you know, one day, or, you know, food runner or whatever, you know what I mean? That's what happens when you're independent until you can, you know, have budgets and things like that to have people that you can hire. And so I think having it family oriented, like, you know, we do.
Our son also starring in Slime Race as well.
Okay, yeah, he made his acting debut. He actually did really good.
Y'all a real family hustle, man.
Yeah.
We trying, man. Yeah. You know, it could be more than one. So. But we just really want to change the narrative, man, because especially coming from where I'm come from, I used to say I'm too hood, well, I'm too artsy for the hood kids, but I'm too hood for the artsy kids. You know what I'm saying? And you know that feeling because you're a talented brother yourself.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're an anomaly, you know, but
I'm on the same boat.
But on this path, on this journey, you'll come to find it. It's a lot of like-minded individuals like us. They just need that person to set the tone and inspire them. Like, yeah, I'm from the west side of Atlanta, Georgia. I've seen it all. I've been through hell and back. But I like Game of Thrones. Right. I like Star Wars, bro. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I want to give a black perspective on that because I'm not the only black that enjoy all that stuff. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? And I want to give my spin, my twist. I don't think we have enough stories like that. They try and throw us in a box and tell us what we like, and I'm not for that. I'm not having it. So, like you'll see me do a few hood classics, and I love that, and I will continue to do them. But I'm going to veer away from that.
That's not the only thing that's in the repertoire.
Yeah, you're diverse. You know what I'm saying? You're just stuck in the box, so you can go on the streets of Atlanta, then turn around and do sci-fi. That's amazing. Like,
do some hood sci-fi.
Some hood sci-fi.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what. Something we can all relate to out far out the box. And I'm working on some stuff. Yeah. She'll tell you, man. I got some, like, if you sit there and be like, what the hell? Where'd you come up with that? Like, just some.
Nah, your mind work like his mind and stuff. He's showing me too. I'm like, our mind work the same way. Like,
that's why we gotta take over the world together, man. Let's do it. I'm all for it. It's enough for all of us.
Right.
And we better when we help each other. You know, I try and preach that as well because so many of us have that Willie Lynch mentality, you know, like crabs in a barrel trying to, it's enough for all of us. And man, one thing I admire about, you know, I don't want to get out of line on them, but like the Caucasian race, they can hate you, but they'll still do business with you.
That's a fact.
They can hate your guts, everything you stand for, but they know they can make money with you, or they can make something. They can create something with you.
Yeah.
Because they respect your position in that. So you know.
No, that's true, man. Like I say, even in our own city, we need to come together because you know what I'm saying. We from here. You need, coming together is big. Like a lot of people want to just compete, but it ain't all about competing. It's to come together and make something great. Like people get mad that LeBron. He joined Wade and Bosh them.
Yeah,
they came together. Yeah. Mad at KD, they joined, and the end goal was get a ring. And
that's what
I say end goal is us, is to make film, is to leave our legacy. So
imagine if we had the collective mindset instead of the competitive mindset for most things.
Exactly.
That's
what could have been accomplished if people weren't trying to, compete with each other rather than come together, like you said. I think it's really important as, Black men to display that collaborative effort and show what products of that can, be. Because I don't think there's enough of it, honestly. And I do think that we're in a society that promotes selfishness and, self-driven purpose. And, and I think it's important to strive to be your better self. But you don't do that on your own. You have people along the way to help you.